Joining us as we get set to bring you NBA basketball on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here, and I'm joined by Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge reporting from the sideline. And we've got time for a quick pregame report. That being said,
well, Kevin, we know today,
David Uriah, it takes a toll. Thank you. And Clark, the league in general increasing the pace of play. Tonight's teams exemplify that approach.
I really think the game was meant to be played at a high pace, Kevin. We've had periods where it's been a little bit more bump and grind, defensive oriented, but I like the trend that the game has taken on the last decade or so. Up and down, a lot of possessions, a lot of scoring, and a lot of entertainment value. I love it. I love the way the game is played now.
Couldn't agree more. Here are the starters for Milwaukee. On the perimeter, it's Middleton and Giannis. And Leonard out there with Brook Lopez. And it's Holiday and a quick goal.
Don't underestimate him. He can knock that down.
Los Angeles on D. It's a three-point game. There's a screen. And looks like the illegal kick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
And that's a tough one. But on those illegal screen calls, the defender's never going to get the benefit of the doubt.
If he's sliding his feet just a skosh, that's what I'm listening for.
There's Antetokounmpo. It's good. Only a few seconds into the shot clock.
Well, I like how Antetokounmpo takes his time on those shots. No rush. Measures what he wants. That mid-range game, Jay, of his is really starting to get better.
About a minute played so far here in the first. Lonnie with it. Now, guarded by Schroeder. Antetokounmpo against Davis. Lays it up off the glass.
Now, with each season, Antetokounmpo continues to polish up his post game. He's got such a nice high release on the shot, and at his size, virtually impossible to block him.
Gasol screen. James in the post. Antetokounmpo defending. LeBron's shot is good.
And you got to respect and appreciate how polished LeBron is inside. I mean, he really excels at creating opportunities for himself close to the rim. Well, for the Bucks in 2017, it was the opening of their new state-of-the-art team facility. A year later, right next door, they've inaugurated their new home arena.
Antetokounmpo. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. That one on Davis.
And really, the ceiling for Antetokounmpo is limitless. I mean, he has the potential to be a Hall of Famer one day.
First one falls for him. And the Bucks sparing no expense with all these new assets.
Well, to bring top talent in and compete with the best, you need to create a winning environment and culture. The Bucks making those investments. And you might have heard this story about Giannis growing a couple of inches since he was drafted. How about the strength this kid is at? Under 200 pounds as a rookie. He added a good 35 pounds of muscle through his dedication in the weight room.
Just 5 on the clock. LeBron kicks to Davis. Over Antetokounmpo. And again, it's the Lakers.
As dangerous as he is inside, Davis gives opponents nightmares when he's able to get to the mid-range. He's very reliable when he steps back and takes the jump shot.
You can talk about Antetokounmpo's strength, Clark. It serves him well with his attacking style.
No question about it, Kevin. I mean, he used to just try to blow by defenders. Now he'll go right through you. He'll get his weight into you, get you on your heels, and then with that unbelievable reach, you've got no chance.
A shot by LeBron, no good. The Bucks trail. Lets a floater go. Holiday gets the bucket. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
It reminds me of that cameo song, Back and Forth.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles. And the season after he won the most improved player, Antetokounmpo, Clark, was a legit MVP contender.
No doubt about it. I think if the Bucks had been the top seed, perhaps could have won it, although James Harden was phenomenal last season. The league has been put on notice. This is the guy who wouldn't surprise me at all if he became an MVP at some point this year.
Look. And you can see there the defender gets caught up on the pick.
I think he's got to be more aggressive, stronger, getting through those screens. Can't allow shooters that kind of space to pull the trigger.
And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Shot by Zeller, no good. The Lakers have gone 4 of 5 from the field so far. Morris dishes to Hill. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Well, it's a thing of beauty watching him attack the defense like that. I mean, they wanted no part of him on that land.
And the double up onto the Kumbo. Back to Brogdon. The shot comes out. Good work defensively by Morris. Well, Pope takes the hit. Oh, and they get away in the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. And we reach the end of the first quarter. Lakers lead by 4. Live from the Staples Center, you're watching 2K Sports. People admire Giannis Antetokounmpo.
That's unbelievable how he has everything. He's fast, he's big, he can move, he can score, he can pass the ball, but they're in danger.
And leads in just about every category group.
And certainly a player for Giannis to study. He's a do-it-all superstar in his own way.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here. What have they been doing? Or not doing?
Well, already in the first period, they found ways to get this offense ramped up.
Yeah, nice beginning so far. This is how you play out of the game.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all filled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. Taking a look at Los Angeles. Kyle Kuzma is out there with Marcus Morris. Then it's Contavious Caldwell-Pope. Then it's Montrezl Harrell. And it's Cook at the one spot. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Olden.
Well, of course, there's no shortage of storylines in Los Angeles. Now, last season, some people thought that Lakers coach Luke Walton had lost his players. The front office seems slow to come to his defense. Walton was a high-profile hire for Golden State in 2016, and we wonder if the Lakers will remain committed to their young coach. They can't start winning more regularly. Devin?
All right, David, thank you. For Milwaukee, they have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line. Los Angeles making a switch here. Thornwell's checked in. We know star power is critical, Clark, but when you look at the great bench players, what distinguishes them in your estimation?
A couple of things, Kevin, when we talk about outstanding role players. One is not only do they accept their role, they embrace it. They thrive in it. They really relish it. It could be impacting the game defensively or impacting it with energy and offensive rebound. Sometimes it's a designated scorer who comes off the bench to just inject offense. Lou Williams as a sixth man. Sure. Vinnie Johnson when he was with the Pistons. I mean, there are a number of guys. John Havlicek, his great Hall of Fame career was pretty much started as a sixth man. So Kevin McHale and so forth. You can go down the list, but they impact the outcome with some aspect or aspects of their game, which is awesome to see.
Kuzma, that's good.
And they are going toe-to-toe here tonight, guys. This thing's like a heavyweight fight.
Yeah, these teams evenly matched, Greg, trading hits and refusing to give up any advantage.
And there's the foul. It's on Quinn Cook. Now the second foul of the game.
And that's foul number 2. And maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before that.
Here's what the Lakers are going with right now. Marc Gasol is checked in for Hill. Davis comes in for Morris. LeBron is checked in for Kyle Kuzma. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Quinn Cook. 1:57 left to play in the first half. Pass to Thornwell. Here's Gasol. Trying to get open is Davis. It's Gasol missing. Well, that's a non-perfect 4 of 4 since the second quarter began. Perfect from the field. Middleton can't get it to go.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range. And Chris Middleton, 2 seasons ago, tore his hamstring completely off the bone. I mean, he's come back and hasn't missed a beat. One of the most well-rounded players we've seen.
And the Lakers making a change here. Lopez is checked in. Here's Middleton. Over James. Middleton can't get it to go. 1:12 left in the first half of basketball. Here's LeBron. And sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line. And Chris Middleton with maybe, Greg, his best season yet in 2017-18.
It just seems like he gets better every year. A former second-round pick, now all-star caliber. He's worked extremely hard, stayed in the lab, and now we're seeing the results.
Free throw good, LeBron.
And the leadership James brings to this team is incredibly valuable. When things get tight, they look to the king to provide for them.
Matthews with the steal. Pushing it up. Here's Schroeder. This on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
And that's the kind of play you just do not want to give up defensively. You lose the possession and give up a quick 2 at the other end.
And let's take a moment, guys, to get your take on the scoring so far for Los Angeles.
Really impressed with their first play so far.
Also, what passing we've seen from them here early. I mean, that could be a big number in the assist column if this keeps up. Well, you want to talk about the smoothest players in the league? You can't forget about Chris Middleton. I mean, he's not a blow-you-away athlete, but he has really good length and a sweet stroke, and he can get his shot off anytime.
And the first one at the line is good. And you look at Chris Middleton, Clark. Doesn't he do well?
You know, there's not much. He does a little bit of everything well. He's a smart, versatile defender. He can command the double team with his scoring and punish the double team with his passing as well. He can hurt you a lot of different ways, Kevin.
Here's James. Carries it down low. James has got 7.
Could easily have been an and one there. James converting through the contact.
Bucks trail by 9. Middleton on the wing. Lopez pass it to Middleton. Outside Holiday. Lee Service, it's a screen for Holiday. Schroeder against Jennings. Oh, and he pops it off the glass. Wow. James, left side. It's 10th. And Cole Mayo. And so it's the Los Angeles Lakers. Ahead by 9 as the quarter comes to a close. They're feeling very confident, shooting the ball with great efficiency and dictating the pace. And we'll be back with you shortly.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports, the halftime show. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Boy, we have a lot to discuss. A competitive matchup for the Lakers in the first quarter. At the end of the period, they held a 4-point lead. In the second quarter, they made it look easy. They played well at both ends of the court, and suddenly, they're sitting on a 9-point lead here at halftime. And taking a look at the Lakers, Shaq, what'd you think?
It's simple, Truth. They just got hot. Didn't matter what the defense was doing, they were definitely able to rise above it. Even the tough shots, did you see that one shot? I don't know how they even went down. They can carry this on to the second round. It's going to be hard to beat them, boy. Will we?
And over to Kenny. Your thoughts on the Bucks?
Well, I think they could be way more physical than they have been in the first half. The defense gave up way too many easy looks, and that kind of defense will turn to a loss any night.
And that's a wrap. With the third quarter approaching, we now send you back to Kevin and the crew.
And the second half about to start here in just a few moments. Ivan Kumba in this game has been out. Here's Holiday. And Milwaukee looking at who they've got. On the perimeter, it's Middleton and Giannis. Brook Lopez is out there with Pulisic. And it's Holiday in at the point.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Los Angeles leading by 9.
Boy, you look at Mike Budenholzer, and he's moved into a nice situation this offseason. Atlanta in rebuild mode, and the Milwaukee Bucks heading in the other direction. One of the best teams in the East. That's a good landing spot for Budenholzer.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. The Lakers need to get a shot off here. Shooter dishes to Davis, and that one goes wrong.
And sometimes, you know, you don't capitalize off a good shot or a good look. Still, you got to keep letting those good looks fly.
And that's good from Antetokounmpo on the assist by Holiday. And that's 10 points for Giannis Antetokounmpo. And Budenholzer, well respected around the league, talk about what he brings Matt Clark to the Milwaukee Bucks, his new team.
Yeah, I think it brings a continuity offensively, ball movement and spacing, and a pretty good system defensively as well.
And just unreal decision-making from James, an unguardable player in the pick and roll.
Bucks trail by 10. And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game.
Yeah, just hit the reset button, a chance to kind of talk some things over.
Yeah, recalibration time with the timeout call there.
And Los Angeles will go for a different look here. And Harrell is checked in for Gasol. Morris comes in for Davis. Kyle Kuzma's checked in for LeBron. And Cook sub in for Dennis Schroeder. Milwaukee also making some changes. Zeller is checked in for Lopez. John Henson comes in for Ilyasova. And Brogdon subbed in for Chris Middleton. Here's the pass to Kuzma. Harold down low. He's against Zeller. Count it, good. Harold's got the lead up to 10 now for Los Angeles.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring. And this one couldn't have been any easier.
Yeah, that was actually no defense at all there, Greg. I mean, layups don't come any easier than that. I mean, they're piling it on now.
Rodman kicks to Henson. Matthews with the rebound. Los Angeles leading by 10. He lobs it up. Kuzma passes to Hill. And he lays it straight in. Hill's got 4 points now in the quarter. Clark, we all know you're one of the best players and maybe the greatest high school class ever. Guys who are now in the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame. What a list of names and great players.
Yeah, terrific players, and proud and privileged to be part of that class. 1979 is what you talk about. Dominique Wilkins, Isaiah Thomas, James Worthy, Ralph Sampson, Terry Cummings. I could go on and on and on, but obviously some of those guys are Hall of Famers and distinguished not just in what they did in high school, in college, and the pros, but in how many of them have lived their lives off the court, too.
Matthew Dellavedova has checked in for Milwaukee. Now the dish to Matthews. And another 3 for the Lakers.
And that monster lead continues to grow. They are just piling it on now.
Yeah, it looks too easy for them. Almost looks too easy for them, I should say, Greg. I mean, their chemistry really at a high level.
And that one's good, Brogdon.
You know, Malcolm Brogdon is not the biggest guy, but that does not stop him from being aggressive and assertive inside.
Norris a screen to the paint. It's deflected. Stolen by Dellavedova. And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
And there's that transition offense. Push the ball up the floor. The defense can't get set, and you can get some easy baskets.
Norris with a screen on Antetokounmpo. Cook, terrific design on a big look. He lays it in. Cook's got 5.
Very well executed pick to give him all kinds of space to get that one.
Dellavedova comes to Antetokounmpo. Pass to Brogdon. And it's Zeller's out the key. Back to Brogdon. Here's Henson. And there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time. Henson's got his second bucket. Pass it to Kuzma. Hit by Harrell. Off the screen. And there's another one for the Lakers.
And that kind of sums up the defensive effort we've seen here tonight, guys.
It's the mark.
Just off the charts, incredible athleticism from Antetokounmpo. Coming off contact like a real pro.
Well, through 3/4 of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Lakers ahead. They're up by 11. And fourth quarter basketball will be coming your way on 2K Sports right after this. And let's take this opportunity now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, a terrific, unselfish play right here. Set up his teammate. And how about the setup this was?
Yeah, and as a 2 guard, he's typically not a reluctant shooter, so it's really nice to see him orchestrating for a teammate instead.
And we'll welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter play can change everything. Dennis Schroeder's out there with Caldwell Pope. And it's LeBron James. Then it's Anthony Davis. And it's Gasol at the 5 spot. Answers in the game for the Lakers. Antetokounmpo against LeBron. Antetokounmpo dishes to Lopez. Antetokounmpo kicks to Ilyasova. Here's the screen. Davis with the double team. And stolen by LeBron. Loads it up for Davis. And out of bounds as the Bucks gain possession.
He just threw that possession away. Hopefully he learns from that and doesn't make the same mistake again.
Bucks trail by 11. They get a hand on it. And here's the fast break. LeBron leading the way. Antetokounmpo with the ball. Fourth quarter basketball. We're about a minute into it. And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
And you know, it's obvious why Antetokounmpo is an MVP candidate. I mean, he's a ferocious player, great competitive spirit, tremendous work ethic, and highly skilled. He wants to dominate.
James with the bucket.
Continuing to push the action and build his lead.
Yeah, you know, continue to pour it on them. That's what they want to do right now. Doing their best to put this game out of reach and in the win column.
Drew Holiday's checked in for Brandon Jennings. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Odom.
Thanks, Kevin. Mike Budenholzer had some words for his team during the break. We got on him. He said he's got to see more intensity. He said we've put ourselves in this hole, and we've got to work our way out of it. Show me you've got what it takes, guys.
Okay, David, thanks. Here's the
And there's no question that James is one of the best dunkers ever. A forceful finisher who loves showing off his athleticism.
that unleashed chaos. Under Armour replay really giving us a good look at the action. There's Antetokounmpo. Anthony Davis grabs the miss.
Well, that's a devastating miss there. You got to convert on these easy layups deep inside.
And that one's good.
And defensively, you have got to extend to their shooters. They have been on fire this half.
Well, you know, the defense hasn't been there for real. I mean, these shooters are getting any perimeter shot they want. It's a bunch of warm-up jump shots out there.
If they want to, they can milk the clock just a little bit here.
Yeah, that's the best option.
James against Antetokounmpo, and they call an illegal screen here.
Yeah, and those illegal screens have really become a point of emphasis for the officials.
It seems like they've been more than willing to crack down on those. Makes it tough to get as physical as you like to out there.
Matthews, he's checked in for the Lakers. Down we go. Nice one there from Antetokounmpo.
And Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak, showing again how committed he is when he takes that ball inside off the drive.
Lakers leading by 12. here's James. Who kicks to LeBron. Shot clock at 6. And that one hits that guy.
Man, right play, wrong result on that one. Generally, you knock those down.
Not much else you can do there. I mean, that's what you want. Too bad they weren't able to finish it off.
Los Angeles, they've gone 4-4 in field goal attempts since getting things started here in the fourth.
And these are the types of games where one team clearly has the edge. Tonight, it will be a win by a large margin for the Lakers.
It was like watching a three-point shooting contest tonight here.
And they just didn't seem to let up. Whether the last several shots went down or not, 3 after 3, it just seemed to pay off for them.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance from LeBron.
Well, I can't recall a play that he wasn't involved in, Kevin. He was so involved in so many plays tonight, a force on both ends.
To the middle, it's thrown by Davis. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo.
And the amount of space Antetokounmpo covers is really breathtaking. You got to see it to believe it. I mean, he erases shots that you think he has no chance to get to.
James against Middleton. This all setting the pick for LeBron. Outside the zone. From deep three-point range. No good that time.
It's just testing out the cannon on that misfire.
That certainly was a deep one. I mean, maybe move in a little bit next time. There's no such thing as a 4-point line.
So it's Los Angeles winning this one easy. A confident win and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance, particularly here at home. I think they built off that edge of being here and played with just a little more confidence than their opponent.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by for some. David.
Thanks very much. Anthony, great win tonight. When you guys are rolling, what does your team look like?
Yeah, we just got to stay aggressive. And we got to get there in the second half. Started in the first quarter when we came out. Our offense was clicking, but most important, our defense was clicking. And then when you do that, it's hard to beat us.
Yeah, I know defense is what Coach wants to see the most of, and you guys did it tonight. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge. This is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew. Thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you later.